Let's talk to Mal Byrne from Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley. Mal, thank you for stepping in at short notice.
You're welcome, Liam.
Because we need legal advice for the people of South Australia. Now, before we start taking some calls, and you can ask Mal any legal question, he'll be able to give you answers in plain English. One of the big chestnuts that's come up to this year with callers are parents who've rung in, their kids have been bullied, harassed or assaulted. They go to the school, and the school says, well, it's not really our issue. Oh, look, you've got to understand that the person who did this allegedly has come from a difficult household, da-da-da-da-da. Or, in many cases, the child tells the parent after the event, he's a little quiet when he gets home, or she's a little quiet when she gets home, and then they find out some stuff happened that they should have been told about. Now, I didn't know this, but this is one of the good things about having you engaged in this segment. Your firm has handled a few of these.
Yes, Leon. The courts expect schools to have standards in place with respect to dealing with bullying of pupils at school. They're expected to have proper policies and procedures. They're expected to be documented. And most importantly, when bullying is reported, the schools are expected to follow through and implement those policies and procedures and deal with the bullying. Okay.
Now, for the cases that have got up in court, tell us what's happened. Without naming any names, I just, because a lot of people think, oh, you know, you try and take City Hall to court, your odds are hopeless no matter how right you are. So what's happened here in some of these cases?
Generally, what's happened is that a child has been bullied, systematically sometimes by maybe a group of children. It isn't just physical bullying such as assaults, it's verbal abuse, psychological abuse, name-calling, etc. The school has been made aware of it by the child or by the parents, and they haven't dealt with it adequately. They've been soft, perhaps, had a meeting here or there. Even I've seen cases where they've had the victim meet with the perpetrator and try and resolve it that way. But generally, it doesn't resolve. The bullying continues to the point where the child won't go to school anymore and has to see a psychologist for counselling or even a doctor for treatment.
So. Give me a typical situation that's happened where you followed this through into the courts.
A typical situation would be a child perhaps falls out with a group of other kids at the school, and then systematic bullying occurs. Every day that child goes to school, they're subjected to physical abuse, either directly from the bullies, or the bullies will ask another child to do something as their agent on their behalf. The child will go to the teacher will report it to the principal. There may be a meeting here or there with parents, but ultimately nothing's done, and in particular nothing's done to really protect the victim from the bullies. There's no real penalties applied to the bullies.
How do the schools justify this stuff? How do they... I mean, if it gets to court, it's pretty serious stuff. Tell me what some of the judges have said of the cases that your company has been running.
Well, what the judges say is that schools must have policies and procedures to deal with bullying. They must take it seriously, and not only must they have policies and procedures, they have to follow through. They have to implement it, and sometimes most schools will have written policies and procedures about these things. My sister's a principal of an all-girls college in Victoria, and they have, I would regard her as gold standard in terms of what she does, and they have procedures, they're documented, where incidents occur, they consider separating the child from the perpetrators. The perpetrators will be suspended often, and if it continues, well, they'll be expelled.
Well, how come that sort of thing doesn't happen here? Now, in some cases it does, but there are lots of schools who just kind of write it off. Oh, well, kids will be kids. This is kind of what you expect. Deal with it. It makes your child resilient. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that we get told, where we get cases that we handle with Chris Hamilton or Gary Collis or Darryl Cross or even lawyers. We've sent a few cases to lawyers where there's been serious assault. I don't understand how... See, this is the thing that amazes me. If you take the school out of it, and it happens outside a hamburger shop or on the street, there's no question what people would do. But for some odd reason, because it's in a school, somehow it's not as serious. I would argue it's actually more serious, because the school's supposed to be safe, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, when you send your children to school, you expect them to be safe. why don't schools, some schools anyway, treat it as seriously as they should? It's hard work. It's difficult dealing with parents, I would imagine, in these situations. There's a lot of emotion involved. The parent of the perpetrator may make threats, I suppose, as opposed to the parent of the victim. And the school, perhaps in too many cases, are trying to perhaps be mediator of something where they should just take a strict, hard-line approach.
All right. Now, tell me, when the courts award, and again, I know it's very hard to deal with individual cases, but in general, have we seen many substantial awards to victims of this sort of thing in court?
Well, it depends on the extent of the injury that the child has suffered. In most cases, it's psychological injury where a child has got to the point where they don't go to school anymore, they're too frightened to go to school, and they can have long-term psychological injuries that'll affect them into their adult life. Yeah. I mean, some of these kids take the damage that they suffer as a teenager right into their adult life, and it affects their ability to work long term. So I have seen where that occurs, the damages awarded will be substantial in the tens to hundreds of thousands.
Okay, so what's your advice to parents who will try to work with the school to fix the bullying or the assaults, and in some cases the police need to be involved, if they find that the school is trying to cover it up or smother it, whereas they would regard it as serious, what do they do? Come and see someone like you? Yes,
come and see someone like us. I mean, the first thing is the child's welfare, and sometimes it may come to the point where you have to take the only way to protect your child is to take the child out of the school and put them in another school.
Well, that happens a lot. See, in many cases we've dealt with, that's basically what's happened. Or the school has said to the parent, look, we can't guarantee the safety of your child. Now, I want to ask you about that. When a school official says that to a mum or dad, we can't guarantee the safety of your child, what should be the appropriate response to that?
Well, the response to that is why. I mean, why? I mean, yes, the courts don't expect teachers to have eyes in the back of their head and see and stop everything that happens. But most of the cases I've seen, it's not just a one-off incident. It's generally a pattern of long-term behaviour over a period of terms, months, where the child is subjected to minor, sort of relentless, systematic bullying, and to the point where they just can't go to school anymore.
Yeah. We're talking with Mal Byrne, who's a lawyer from Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley. If you have any legal questions, 8223 0000. I'm talking with Mal Byrne, who's a very experienced lawyer with Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley, and we've talked about bullying at school, and this came up through a lot of people emailing us today. Here's another question. We get a lot of people, Mal, who come to us because they've got pretty nasty texts or messages through social networks, and this is not just somebody anonymous who's giving them trouble. It might be somebody that they know that they've got some kind of disagreement with, or there's a personality conflict or whatever, and it really starts to get nasty and quite threatening. What's your advice for how people should deal with that?
Well, my advice certainly, firstly, is to keep a record of every communication you get of that nature. Report it to your telecommunication provider or your internet provider. If you don't get any satisfaction there, and you are very concerned, you should report it to police, because it is an offence. It's an offence to stalk someone. It's an offence. It's a breach of telecommunications laws to use telecommunications to intimidate or threaten people.
All right, let's take a call from Anne. Anne, you're talking with Mal Byrne.
Help me. If a home is in the husband's name only and the wife wants to sell it and wants him to leave till he sells it, can she actually legally do that?
No.
No?
If you're talking about a couple that is separated...
Well, they haven't separated. They're still living in the same home, but she wants him out and she wants the house on the market, but the house is in his name.
Well, because the house is in his name, any contract to sell the house he would have to sign.
Yes.
What you need to do is you need to see a family lawyer.
A family lawyer. Now, can you recommend one for me?
Well, if you want to ring our office on 8212-1077, we have a team.
Hang on, I'll just get a pen, sorry.
212...
212
10
10
77.
77. And who would he talk to?
Oh, we have a team of family lawyers there,
Oh.
so they'll put you through to whoever's free.
So in a situation where the property's in somebody else's name, see, that's one set of circumstances. In another, it could be joint names, but in this case, it's the person's name. Surely there would have to be a series of things happen, because in a long-term relationship, presumably there would be hopefully it would be amicable, and you might expect a 50-50 split after of the proceeds of the sale, depending on other circumstances. So, again, you need good advice on this, don't you?
Yes, I mean, if your relationship is broken down, whether it's de facto or marriage, you're going to have to deal with all of your assets, all of the assets of the relationship.
Can I ask you this? In general terms, if the home's in one name only, can a person be forced to sell it?
Well, they can be forced to sell it as part of a property settlement, whether it be matrimonial or de facto. Yes, they can, because it'll be a court order. The court will make an order saying this is the way that this relationship, the assets of this relationship are being dealt with, and that includes selling the house. Now, perhaps the owner of the house may be able to refinance to be able to pay out the other spouse so that they can retain the house, but they're going to have to, whatever share of the house that the other spouse is entitled to is going to have to be paid out, and if you can't pay it out, well, then you're going to have to sell the house.
All right, let's talk to Jane. Hi, Jane. You're talking with Mal.
Hello.
Hello, Jane.
Hi. It's actually a problem that my daughter-in-law has got. She's been informed a couple of nights ago, one of the council trees, the branch fell off and took out the power to her house. Now, it's been fixed, and the council want to charge her for the cost, even though
The cost of
she
what?
has been the cost of getting the cable fixed, even though she's been ringing the council for ages to say that it's hanging low, almost on the electrical lines, and they said no, we're maintaining it.
Got a question. Is the tree concerned whose branch hit the power line that cut it out? Whose property is the tree on?
It's a council tree.
Well, then how can she be forced to pay it?
Well,
That's right.
you can't be responsible for a tree that's not your tree.
Okay. I've been told to write a letter to the council concerned. So, should I ring them up?
No, I think you better give your phone number. And
Phone number 8212 1077.
Jane, have a talk to Mal off air about this. I mean, I would have thought if you'd written to a council warning that a branch is likely to cause a problem, and it did, how the hell can they charge you?
Well, especially if the tree's not on your property and not your
This
tree.
is what I call a try-on. It's a bit like going for a fitting in a fashion shop. It's a try-on. I can't see how a local council could ever get away with that.
No, I mean,
If it was your tree, maybe, on your property, but not theirs. Yeah, I wonder which council it is. Just be good to find out. So just give your number again, will you?
8212 1077.
Hey, listen, thank you for coming in today. Whereabouts is Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley? Where can they be found?
Well, we can be found at 76 Light Square, but we also have branch offices at Salisbury, Ranella, Mount Barker, Whyalla and Port Lincoln.
Fantastic. Mal, Merry Christmas and thank you for joining us. That's Mal Byrne from Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley. And as I said, look, in matters where you think you need some advice that might be legal, go to a real lawyer and have a talk to them, because often you can really save yourself a lot of heartache and money at the same time.